r/ask Reddit. What is the hardest part about getting older? Reddit users, 30 years old and over. What is the hardest part about getting older? Time goes by faster. The trick to this is to keep finding new things to do. There have been months that I have done nothing but work at my boring job and spent the evenings watching repetitive content on YouTube, and other months where I have a creative project to work on. The former disappear. The latter seem to last forever. But it has to be something new. Once whatever you are doing becomes repetitive, then time speeds up again. I think that our perception of time, at least over relatively long periods, is based on the number of new experiences worth remembering we store over that time. Obviously, the older you get, the fewer new experiences you have. But you can game the system by searching them out. This is my answer too. Watching your parents and family members age and losing them is definitely the most difficult thing to deal with as you get older. We lost my dad in December, and losing a parent leaves you feeling untethered in a very real way. This person's response was, "That is a tough period." I agree. May I say that after a while, I got past that. As Lucian says, everybody dies. I am now the oldest in my clan. As my brother used to say, death is like walking the pirate's plank. Only now, no one else is in front of you. Keep in mind that each person that predeceases you has been spared the grief of experiencing your death. Your suffering of their death has spared them that grief. For what it's worth, realizing all the opportunities you missed, and all the time you wasted chasing the wrong goals. On the other hand, that's part of learning what you really value in life. Oof. I didn't realize it until years later that there was a girl I hung out with in college that totally wanted me. I thought she was way out of my league, but somehow she kept finding ways to hang out with me, and I never realized all I had to say was, "Hey, you want to go out sometime?" Coming to realization that all the shit the adults told me when I was younger actually came true, and that, despite this efforts, the youth of today will ignore my advice just as I had ignored it. Seriously? I see my nephews fucking up their lives, 19 years old, how I did when I was their age, and I want to preach to them so bad, but I know they won't listen to me. It's very upsetting. It's funny, I had the opposite experience. Most of what I was brought up to believe turned out to be bullshit. If the guy I am now met the kid they were raising, he'd tell him not to buy into that toxic, bigoted nonsense. Random bullshit health issues that prevent you from doing the things you want. I woke up with a knee injury that's kept me from working legs at the gym for a month now. I think I just slept on it wrong. Sometimes knee sprains and injuries appear from years of neglected minor injuries that are now escalated. Be sure to get some resistance band work to strengthen your knee. There's a lot of physical therapy exercises you can get from YouTube if you can't afford PT. Obligatory talk with your doctor, of course. Proper nutrition, warm-ups, band work, and hot baths go a long way in recovery or injury prevention. Soon to be 73 here. The worst? Not being able to do the physical things I did when I was younger. Getting tired easier sooner. Watching your friends, family die. I'm very fortunate to be healthy enough to work, travel, and not fear a visit to the doctor. When I was 20, I thought 40 was old. When I was 40, I thought 60 was old. When I passed 60, I figured every day I wake up, get out of bed, and know who I am and where I am is a bonus day. LOL, I don't worry about dying as much as I did when I was young. But I do worry about my quality of life as I grow older. I've had a good life, good wife, married 50 years, good career. And now the days are short. I'm in the autumn of my years, and I now think of my life as vintage wine. From fine old kegs, from the brim to dregs, it pours sweet and clear. It was a very good year. Frank Sinatra, 1965. The overwhelming desire to just give up. Lay down and cry/sleep/die, but you can't. Because bills. You got this, pal. Random aches and pains. The realization that you aren't invincible. I fucked my neck up turning over in bed. You used to be hip, And with the times, but slowly, but surely you're getting older and more stuck in your ways, becoming the thing you desperately weren't trying to be when you were younger. Speaking of bodies, I'm struggling with my skin becoming more photosensitive. Apparently as you age, your skin loses fat and water content and becomes thinner, making you more susceptible to UV light. At least that's what I found when I searched. Why am I more sensitive to the sun now? I used to be very sun tolerant, but not anymore. From my perspective, admitting that 30 years old is not at all old. That is young. For me, 60 is now considered old, when your high school friends start dropping dead of heart attacks. It's weird. You expect accidents to take the lives of your friends or diseases like cancer that are caused by their work. But when heart attacks kill them, it just seems surreal. A lot of my friends died from overdoses. We are still barely 32 SMH. Unfortunately, drugs seems to be the thing that hit our generation pretty hard. I hope it ends with us and doesn't get passed on. All the bad health choices of my 20s coming to bite me in the ass. All the bad health choices of my 20s coming to bite me in the ass. For me, it's coming to grips with the impermanence of the moment. I feel like we're hardwired to operate under the assumption that we always have more time. But windows of opportunity do close permanently. People you neglect will leave, never to return. Everybody you know will leave, one way or another. The good times never last, nor do the bad times. But the impermanence of my life and the things I cherish have really been kicking me in the dick lately. Feeling like you're way behind on societal expectations. Our friends will drift away and disappear from your life for no reason at all. Time starts moving really fast, and every single day just starts blurring together. There is no next big stage of life to look forward to. You just begin this blurry repeating pattern of apathy, existential dread, and anxiety, and all your hobbies and entertainment just become mere distractions from it all. Saga ball sacks. I'd say the realization that life was simpler before you turned 25. Was easier to make friends because of school. That gets more difficult after 30, because you're starting to realize you're becoming the people you made fun of in college for going to clubs. Was way easier to meet women because of school and a larger circle of friends. Dating, after 30, is more complicated because now you're having to navigate emotional baggage, kids, failed marriages, etc. instead of just, hey, you want to grab a drink tonight and see where it goes from there? Friendships start to fade, not intentionally, but because life happens. Folks have kids, kids grow up, have school, sporting events, etc. If you work later shifts, your friends go to sleep earlier because they have to get up to take their kids to school. Your friends and siblings' failed relationships aren't things that just go away because now there may be kids involved and you still have to see those people again and again, unlike in college where you could just laugh and say, remember that joke you dated in college? What was her name? Again? That sense of spontaneity you once had and your desire to just quit your job and get out on the open road is tempered by the fact that you either have recurring bills, car/house/credit card payment, a partner and kids, or some other responsibility that you can't ignore. You can no longer blow a few $100s on concert tickets or a camping trip because now you have to pay for your room and board and food, and you can't just go to your mom and dad's when things go wrong. The ever-increasing realization that everything is getting more expensive, but wages aren't keeping up with the reality of the cost of living. You're just getting by in the moment, let alone in a situation where you can prepare for the future. Everyone is getting older, and when you hit 40, people start to pass away. A few years after they pass, unless they were a close family member, you realize how quickly people move on. The sun doesn't stop burning, the world doesn't stop turning, and life goes on.